Welcome back to another reaction for I Want to Love You Till Your Dying Day, episode 4.
ミミが死なないのはね、もう死んでるからなんだよ。
え？もう死んで？どういうこと？
難しくてよくわかんないんだけど、大人がそう言ってた。
でも前から噂でも言われていたのよ。死んでも生き返るとか幽霊とか。もしかしてミミって幽霊
I mean, technically...
ミミはミミだよ。
そうだよね。
あれ何？
ああ、デイジーだね。
デイジー？デイジーって言うんだ。ミミと。
ちょっと待って。
わあ、綺麗。
そうだね。
Hmm. Whoa, 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 whoa. I assumed it would have been Miss Nurse, but it's not. Who are you? What is this? Are you controlling Mimi? No, right? Okay, new character. So she is dead. I mean, like last episode. The question now is she dead? Is she just a... If she did say she's dead... It does sound a little bit like... where those lichts... you know... Like those supreme undead beings that have like a phylactery where the soul is being housed. So the body can't die until you get rid of the soul. Something along those lines, maybe? I had a different idea as well, but I don't remember. Something about that. Can't really... So, there's definitely something going on. I mean, clearly. It could be magic. Right. The question then is really, is she the person that they are talking about from the rumors? That is essentially active for like a long time? Or are there different generations of Mimis? Is it the same Mimi, but because she's undying, she doesn't age? Or because she is essentially dead, she doesn't age because she doesn't behave like a normal human, at least growth-wise. And she's technically older than everyone? Oh, you're the one. You're the one that had the... Okay.
もう死んでるから。
今日は蘇生魔法についてお話しします。説明できる人はいますか？リジー・セイラン。はい。蘇生魔法は使用者の命と引き換えに死者を生き
Resurrection magic trades the user's life with that of the deceased. Nah. So essentially, you die instead of the person you want to resurrect. Makes sense in some instances, maybe. But I don't believe that is what Mimi's doing. Unless she can take the lives of an enemy. Or they sacrifice people for her? I don't know. Resurrecting them and granting them eternal life. Okay. So it's not only resurrection, it's also eternal life? I mean, you are dying, but you are giving a lot to the person you resurrect.
与えられる最高禁止魔法です。
その通りです。
最高禁止魔法。
なんで禁止になったんだよ。死んでも生き返るんならその方がいいよな。
死後は慎みなさい。
ああ、すいません。
とつきさん、
はい。
どうして禁止になったと思いますか？
I mean, you would die. It probably was forbidden because what would happen is if you have someone really strong, they would force other people to use resurrection magic on them. That way they would never die. And there would be like a slavery system. It's the only real downside I can see.
かわいそうだから。
かわいそう？
はい。永遠に死ねないのはかわいそうだから。
Who knows?
正解とは言えませんが、その側面もあるのは確かです。座って。
はい。
先にも答えてもらったように、蘇生魔法を行うには術者の命を代償にする必要があります。よって数百年前に禁止になりました。命の交換は許されるべきものではないからです。
Are you sure? I feel like I don't like this explanation. It's not really that wrong of an explanation. Being like, yeah, it's never okay to trade a life for another life. Is it really? You could have someone who maybe is wheelchair bound, can't really do anything. They only learned resurrection magic. And then you have like someone who is a hero. Now they could sacrifice a life to resurrect the other person because you need to cast the spell. You are sacrificing yourself instead of someone else forcing you to do that. So it is also something along the line of free will. I don't like that explanation.
どうだった？
まだ気づいてはいないみたいですが、時間の問題ですよ。
ミミが死なないのはね、もう死んでるからなんだよ。
What?
喋るなって言っておいたんだけどな。ありがとね、教えてくれて。
どうするつもりです？
大丈夫大丈夫。手は打っておくから。
What was she supposed to find out? I'm a little bit lost. She is supposed to put one and one together of resurrection magic. I mean, you decided to bring it up, so I don't. What if Mimi uses resurrection magic? Because she can't die, right? Would she be able to stay alive? I don't know. I'm just remembering this the situation where our girl was in the bed without her arm, and then Mimi kissed her and healed her arm and stuff. What if that was resurrection magic? Does it count? I don't know, because the conversation is just putting me onto that, because it's like, oh, she has not found out yet. What do you mean that she's not alive? I mean, Mimi did say that, so there's nothing to find out. That it has to do with resurrection magic, okay. But how is she able to... I mean, this would mean that she would not be dead anymore. Because the resurrection magic would put her alive. The only thing I can really imagine is that Mimi used resurrection magic on our girl.
美味しいな。まだ。入った。
ダメだ。禁止されたとしか書いてない。蘇生魔法。あり。セイラ。調べ物？ちょっと気になることがあって。ミミちゃんのこと？ああ、うん。
And she goes to war.
まあ。
1407-1408
Okay. Is it really that she also is similar to Mimi now?
レナ。
以上のものは至急
Oh.
保健室まで来るように。
It's not for war. Because these are the only two that got called. Okay.
血の気が引いた。心臓が止まるかと思った。走って逃げよう。一瞬本気で頭をよぎった。これをミミは。いつも。
シーノ？
なんでもない。
お腹すいた。
オミ先生に言ってお菓子とお茶もらってきてくれたら少しあげるけど。
しょうがないな。
Why did we even call her instead of only Sheena?
呼ばれたのは。
シーナちゃん聞いちゃったって言うからさ。ミミの秘密。
どうして？
そりゃ先生だもん。で、どこまでわかった？
どこまでって。何も。
だいたいあなたの思っている通りよ。
Is it?
蘇生魔法調べてたんでしょ？
じゃあ。
そう、ミミはね、蘇生魔法で蘇らせた子。
Okay. Explains why she's alive. Explains why she is potentially long living. Cool, cool, cool. Why can't she die, though, is the question. Because the resurrection magic did not specify that you can't die. That you have eternal life. Unless that is the point of eternal life, you can't die. But then why is it forbidden? It feels like a very powerful spell.
母親が禁忌を破ってね。本来蘇生者なんて厄介な過去の遺物なんだけど。
The resurrected are essentially problematic relics of a past age.
遺物なんだけど、ミミの桁違いの魔力は今の国には欠かせない戦力でね。何年も前から戦ってもらっているわ。それこそ生徒に学校の七不思議として代々噂が受け継がれるくらい前から。蘇生者は時間が止まっちゃうの。姿は蘇生した時のままだし、身長だって伸びやしない。
Okay. So Mimi died. Why? What happened?
じゃあミミはこれからも戦争に。
そうね。戦争が続く限りはずっとね。
そんなの。
じゃあ代わりにシーナちゃんが戦場に出る？あなたもここにいる子たちもみんながミミという最強兵器がいるから助かっている。これだけの犠牲で済んでいる。違う？
お菓子なんてないって言われたんだけど、保健医の嘘つき。
あら残念。お紅茶楽しみにしてたのに。
ミミ。 一緒にクッキー焼きに行こうか。失礼します。
So Sheena smells like her mom? Why is that? And again, now a lot of other questions. Why did Mimi die? Was she just a child that was sickly? The mom went against the taboo and resurrected her. Okay, that is why she doesn't age. Fair enough. Doesn't explain why she can't die at all. It would only explain why she is the same way still. It also doesn't explain why Sheena is smelling like her mom.
シーナちゃん、
クッキー楽しみ。
よろしくね。
はい。
ちなみにさっき話したことは全部国家機密だから、口外したら大変なことになるからね。
え？
じゃあね、シーナちゃん。
早く行こ
そうだ。フラン先生の言う通りだ。ミミがいるから私たちはここで生きていける。それは事実なんだ。
I mean, that is, in most cases, yeah, there are some. I feel like in like most areas in life, be it, this is naturally war, but also in like a workplace or school or whatever, you always have some outstanding people who are more or less increasing the average because they're so much better. I feel like that is most apparent in like a workplace. You always have someone who is working like for 2 or 3 people at once. And I feel like Mimi is the same here. She's essentially the hard worker that is doing far too much and gets paid far too little.
やってみる？
う。いいの？
So we are not making necessarily cookies?
これからもずっと言われた通りに戦争に行くの？
どうして？
どうしてって。
だってミミが戦うのはいいことなんでしょ？
戦闘に参加したこともない助けられてばかりの私がミミの生き方を否定なんてできない。それがどんなにいびつであっても。
できた！シーノ？
She did say that she doesn't like to be hurt as well. However, the benefit, I mean, this is the problem. She's not aging physically. What about mentally? She also doesn't seem that mature mentally, which would mean that she may not be able to learn that well. Maybe? Or maybe she's really good at learning. Because the big benefit is that she's going to become stronger and stronger. She's going to be a menace on the battlefield. And at some point, she's going to be like the Terminator. She's going to be invincible. Because she has so much experience, she's learning so much, she can use so much magic.
すごいね、ミミは。
Which also, can she train? Would muscles not just reset whenever she gets resurrected?
何が？
うん、なんでもない。あ、これよくできてる。
本当に？これはこれは？
それでは第5拠点に9名、第6拠点に5名を16、17クラスを中心に割り当てる形にします。
犠牲は何人出るでしょうね。
このところ敵の反撃も強力になっていると言います。
ただ兵士より戦闘魔法を仕込んだ生徒の方が効果的だというデータもあり、国からの強い要請が。
how much more effective? Because I'm assuming that a better mage is able to grow further than a normal conventional soldier. So it may be more beneficial to use the normal conventional soldier for some more time until the better mages are mature enough to take over and be a strong force. Also, we have not heard until now, why are we fighting? And whom are we fighting with?
子供ですよ。いくら人手不足とはいえ、こんな最前線にまで。
なので耳を第6拠点に配置します。
She's also a child, technically.
そして戦闘が早期に終結するようであれば、そのまま第5拠点の戦闘に。
結局耳に頼りきりではないですか。
今はそれしか。
というのが現状です。なのにその貴重な子供を半ば私物化している教師がいる。フラン先生、何か考えがあってのことですか？耳を他の生徒と接触させるなんて。
I mean, even if you see Mimi as some kind of weapon, she's still some human. And you need to enable her to relax at some point. Otherwise, what could happen is that she is going against you at some point. And you don't want that to happen.
フラン先生。ああ、久々に怒られたわ。
少しくらいまともな振る舞いをしてみせたらどうですか？追い出されますよ。
平気平気。私の修復魔法なしにここがやっていけるわけないもん。
校内禁煙です。
ほらっけ？
まったく生徒に接触させた上にすでに蘇生者であることを一部の生徒にばらしたなんて。
I'm just surprised. I'm assuming the high-ups know she got resurrected. I'm surprised they don't try more of these. Try to make an elite unit of resurrected mages. If they are undying, imagine you have like 5 mimis. That would be a lot of power.
しょうがないでしょ。耳が喋っちゃったんだから。まあ、シーナちゃんはペラペラ喋って回るような子じゃないし。大丈夫よ。一応国家機密だって脅しておいたし。
フラン先生。
あ
なたはどうせこうなるって分かってたんでしょ？何が目的なんですか？
やあねえ、人聞きの悪いこと言わないでよ。私は保健医の仕事をしているだけよ。そんじゃね、おやすみ。
昨夜襲撃によりこのクラスから犠牲者が出ました。健闘を称えるとともに残された我々は1407メルラウラ14クラスへの進級に合わせ戦闘実力試験を行います。はい、ありがとうございます。
So either she's a student that is taking more out of her than we initially thought, or this one was special for her in some way. Maybe family, maybe something else.
今日もいい天気だこと。なのに何をそんなに神気臭い顔で。
生徒たちの成果を見直して 仮想敵のバランスを調整したいんです。
敵ちょっと硬すぎない？ 14 クラスに上がったばっかの子たちでしょ。
She doesn't want someone else to die in her class. The problem is that this training is not going to make them, doesn't really prepare them for a real fight. Well, there's like a saying, all training goes out the window on real contact or real life contact, because stuff changes so quickly and you need the experience, because even a second of inattentiveness in a war zone can cost you your life. So
もうちょい手を抜いてあげればいいのに。
今の14クラスはクラスメートの死を受け止める間もなく、突然編入してきた耳によって皆動揺し、集中力を欠いています。ですから今回の模擬戦で緊張感を取り戻してほしいんです。
I would recommend maybe cleaning the test site next time though, and not have like people left over from a fight potentially assassinating one of your students.
彼らには気を散らしている暇などないのですから。
大見先生って生徒に人気ないでしょ。そんなに厳しくしてると嫌われるわよ。もっと生徒と一緒に笑ったり泣いたり感情を出してさ。
好かれなくて結構です。もし私への行為が生き延びる助けになるなら何だってしますよ。でも現実はそうじゃない。時間が足りない。実技の割合を増やすべきかしら。けれど勉学をおろそかにできないし。
嫌な役回りよね、先生って。
It's never easy if you care about your students, I guess. So it is a general thing. Also, they did say that this was like a combat exam or whatever for the student, because I guess she excelled and she was really on top. And she died by doing that. I mean, there was a high chance she was going to die, I feel like. I would not have sent her out. But hindsight, I guess.
こんなとこで魔法使うな。グラウンド行きなさいよ。だって上級生が。何ビビってんの、情けない。
おはよ
もう朝？
早く起きないと朝ごはん食べられなくなっちゃうよ。
ご飯！今日の朝ごはん米かな？
そうだよ。
やったー！ご飯！
結局私ができることなんてほとんどない。耳を守る力も代わりに戦う勇気もない。ただ守られているだけ。
そうね、戦争が続く限りはずっとね。
I mean, technically, you could stay at her side, also get resurrected, immortal, and then you can join her in her battles. That's the only thing I could imagine.
シーナ、髪の毛やって。つまんない数学。
夜一緒に勉強しようか。
いい、つまんないし。
そんなことないよ。わかれば面白いよ。
いいよ。それにミミいないことも多いし。
そっか。
シーナ、
次の授業実験室よ。
実験室？
ミミもノートとペン持って。あれ、ペンは？
さっき落っことしちゃった。
放置しないで。
届く？
届かない。
大丈 夫？もう自分で拾ってよ。
シーナ、あなたお母さんみたいね。
ねえねえ、これから何やるの？
治癒魔法の実習よ。まあ、適性があるのはごく一部なんだけどね。
なあ、返礼の日って誰と回るか決めた？来週だっけ？
まだだよ。
Gratitude Day? Okay.
まだだよ。
じゃあ一緒に回ろうよ。
返礼の日って？
簡単に言うとお片付けの日かしら。教室や廊下はもちろん、中庭や講堂、図書館まで整理整頓して回るの。
And we say thank you for training me and using me as a disposable soldier? Maybe?
めんどくさいね。
ダメだよ、そんな風に言っちゃ。私たちを養ってくれる学校にお返しをする日なんだから。
それに、
What do you mean repay? You repay them by going to war. This is not a charity.
それに、全学年で手分けするから、そんなに大変じゃないよ。どうだった？
わからない。
もう直接聞いちゃえばいいのに。
シーナに悪いよ。それにもしフラン先生から聞いてたとしても、そう簡単には話せないだろうし。
ミミちゃんが蘇生者かどうかね。
うん。だとしたら全て説明がつく。実際17クラスの先輩から聞いたことがあるの。戦闘中体を真っ二つにされた人を目撃したのに、戻ったら一人も死んでなかったことがあるって。
蘇生魔法で蘇った者は永遠の命を手に入れ、決して死ぬことはない。
And can never die, okay. Again, imagine you are already willing to send children to war. Is it really that big of a leap to be like, hey, let's sacrifice a couple of these children, like 10 or so, to make 10 immortal mages that are going to become more and more efficient at fighting, that we can send out as an elite troop? Would you really put that past them? I would not.
それにしても昔の魔法ってロマンチックよね。
ロマンチック？
だって自分の命を使って誰かを生き返らせるのよ。
Definitely not a death flag. Totally not a death flag. Yup. So romantic. Luckily you never have to do that, right?
それだけ相手が大切な人ということでしょ。愛する人に自分の魂と魔力のすべてを捧げられる。素敵じゃない？
本当にそういうの好きだよね、アリは。
セイランだって好きでしょ。
なんか嘘っぽいよ。
じゃあどういう魔法が好きなの？
こういう綺麗な光の魔法とか、あとは思いを形にできる文字の魔法とか。
ほら、ロマンチックな魔法じゃない。
違う。すごい爆発。
A little bit
最
close.
近また敵の攻撃が激しくなってるって言ってたから。
But they are really close. Wouldn't you say? I assumed it would be going to a fight somewhere. But being that close, again, we don't know why they are fighting. Is it territorial? Is it for something else?
街に落ちてなければいいけど。アリだったらどうする？もし蘇生魔法が使えたとして、いつか私がアリの目の前。
From what I see, I would definitely think she would do it, and I feel like that the show's going to go there.
セイランはどう答えるの？
質問に質問で返さないでよ。
やめましょう。こんなもしもの話。
そうだね。
もう少しだよ。お、ちょっと待って、走ったら危ないってば。
早く早く。
Hmm. Speed of Daisy. Okay.
デイジーいっぱい。
お手入れされてないただの裏庭だけどね。
すっごい綺麗だよ。おー、向こうまで続いてる。
ほんと嬉しそう。見るの初めてなんだ。学校にずっといたのに。
まだここが資料館って呼ばれてた時からいたんだけど。
The archive? What do you mean?
資料館？それって相当昔じゃ。ミミって本当は何年生きてるの？
数えてない。
そっか。
And again, her mentality also is not aging, seemingly. Wouldn't her mentality change though? Maybe she didn't interact with a lot of people, so it stayed the same.
けどここが学校になった時のこと覚えてるよ。それまでは少しは外に出られてたんだけど、今度ここに子供がたくさん来ることになったからって全然外に出してもらえなくなっ
How about we move our special weapon somewhere else then?
て、戦場に行く時だけ出られるの。でも帰りに寄り道したら怒られるし退屈だった。
退屈。何これ？
おしゃれ。
今は楽しい？
お花見るの楽しい。
そっか。学校は？
学校も楽しい。お絵かきできるし、みんなでご飯食べれるし、お揃いの制服着られるし、それにずっとシーナと一緒にいられるのが一番楽しい。
私もミミといるの楽しいよ。
何作ってるの？
これをね、ミミが来る前に同室だった子に教えてもらったの。
My roommate before you. This is not the same one that died, is it? Or maybe it is. When they were like younger?
ごめんね。あんまりうまく作れなかったけど。プレゼント。
わあ、シーナ、鏡。
はいはい。
お
長い間生きてきたのに、ミミは何も知らない。楽しいことも嬉しいことも。
どう？
ぴったり。少しでも楽しいって思ってほしい。せめてこうして一緒にいる時だけでも。ミミ、次は何しよっか。
I was bracing myself for something bad to happen. Let's not kid ourselves. It's like a roller coaster, right? So we are at the top, everything is nice. We are really close for everything to go to shit. We had the whole conversation with the resurrection. So we found out why she is immortal. Because her mom used resurrection magic on her. Now that means something happened for Mimi to die. Could be sickness, could be war, could be something else. Her mom used resurrection magic on her, which I feel like is something a mom would do. Sheena is smelling like her mom for some reason, so we also have that connection going on. We then had some conversation, we got warned, some alone time with Mimi, then we had like a meeting where we are like, yeah, send Mimi to the fights because that is the best usage of our power, I guess. We also saw that the main teacher is taking everything a little bit closer to heart than we acknowledged before, because she seems very emotionless in class. That is why she's trying to make all of the combat drills harder and harder, so to prepare her class to real combat, and hopefully they don't die. That is what I feel like. Maybe concentrate on surviving or teaching them survival instead of that, but who knows. Then we had a little bit introspective between Sheena and Mimi. Then we had the conversation of the second duo, and they were saying, yeah, would you use resurrection magic? Because the one girl found it very romantic, the other one was like, a little bit too corny. And I'm assuming that one of them is going to die and the other one is going to use resurrection magic. And we got a little present for Mimi. So Mimi is super old. She did say she is here for a long time. But her mentality has not changed. But she is stronger in a fight, but again, some parts of her did not grow. Still, so many questions. We still don't know why they are fighting, who they are fighting against. Why not have like a little army of resurrected mages? You don't even need to tell them that they are going to live forever. You could just tell them, hey, you can't die. And if they ask, yeah, am I going to die of old age? That is fine. You know, you can lie to them if you want to. And this way you would have a whole company of seasoned veterans that can join a fight over and over.